Hey there everyone, welcome back to Gamevine, and my name is Dave.
Trevor! Chris.
And today we are going to be reviewing a game all about monster fighting, and I don't know how all these monsters came to be. Maybe there was some kind of chimera hybrid and there was this wild scientist, but we are reviewing the game Ultimate Warriors. As you can see, a 3D board here, and it ends with the letter Z, so you know it's going to be good. Essentially, what are you guys doing in there? You want to give a brief breakdown of what we're doing here, Trevor?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. It's you're kind of programming each move. You're playing a card real simply, and you don't know what it is until you count down the order, and then whoever has the higher initiative gets to attack. It's a pretty simple movement and attack kind of game. Really light and just a fun subject matter. And I don't think there were any copyright infringements with the Ultimate Warrior from the old wrestling days. So.
Who knows? Well, I didn't do any research, or I wasn't a part of this, but. The one other thing that people might compare this to is King of Tokyo, and Chris, you've played King of Tokyo. What would you say? Do you think that is a good comparison?
Yeah, it's really close. More dice in King of Tokyo,
and
but
in different places to move instead of just one.
Right, you can move. You can move in this little area. It's a gladiator arena.
Exactly.
They're gonna battle it out.
Yeah, and that's what you're trying to battle until you are the last one standing, or you have the most hit points at the end of turn 7. So. Without further ado, let's show you what comes in this 3D box. This is actually the board, and then we'll show you how to play. Let's go. Alright, so here are the components for Ultimate Warrior sprawled here on the table. Now let's first go over what this game is known for, the visual effects. It has to do with these pillars and the actual box, because the box is the game board, but I'll show you how that goes together in a second. Let's then move on to the characters, which are cardboard as well, and they have the standees of each color for each different hero or warrior, whatever you want to call it. And they're also going to come with a set number of oversized cards. This guy right here has 9, I think everyone does. You get your character card here, and then the cards that are laid out like this, which I'll go over in the how-to portion of the video, they have different numbers and what they can do, and some have abilities. Now most characters are going to have the same stuff, just maybe in different numbers. They're all going to have life points here in different colors, and they're going to have a flip side that equals victory points. And every character has one big one, which is worth 3, but that doesn't necessarily means that this is better than the rest. It just means this is the first hit. But I'll get to that in a second. Now, some heroes have special abilities, and they'll have their token counters that correspond with that, and every character is going to have one of these charm tokens, and the flip side has their character on it, and you'll get to use this during the actual game. Now, that's really what the game consists of. It has all the different heroes, big ones, small ones. The tokens are just high quality cardboard, and the standees work really well. Of course, you have a set of dice here because you're going to be rolling dice to attack. It gives you all the dice that you need, but man, wouldn't it have been cool if each character had its own colored dice? That is a near spice up your life that we're going to be doing, or just kind of a spice by go out and get yourself a nice color coordinated set of dice for each character, and man, this game is really going to pop. But you have what you need right here in the box. So without further ado, let me show you how to play this game. But first, let's assemble the board. Alright, so I have the game board set up. All I did was take the box, flip it upside down, the bottom half, and put it inside. Then I slid the pillars in, and voila, you have it here. You put the round marker on the 3 rock part, number 1, and then you're going to be moving it down every round, so forth. Now, what you're trying to do in Ultimate Warriors ultimately is try to take out all of the other warriors, and or have, by doing so, getting the most points. And if you have the most points, if you basically serve the best entertainment via battle, then you will be the best gladiator, and that's what you're trying to accomplish. If you take down a few other warriors while you're doing so, well, that's just a plus. So you're going to start with the character here. As you can see, let me explain. This is the defense of what you currently have, and this is the life. It's not going to be in all the cards, but that's how much each character will have. Now, the size matters in this game, and you'll get that the sense of that in a second. Where the bigger characters will have more life, like this dragon, compared to 916. The smaller characters will be faster and possibly have some pretty cool attacks to balance it all out. So you're going to start with this face down, showing you that you have a 3 shield. I didn't go over that. Now that is when you are rolling to attack somebody, you're going to take a certain amount of dice, and you have to either equal this number when you're attacking that person. So if somebody's attacking Leo like Chris is, he has to get 3 or higher to hit, and he hit me twice, which will take 2 of my hearts, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So that is how the basic character card is set up. Let me go through the cards here. Now, there are initiative numbers, all from 1 to 8. Now, you'll be playing these cards, and initiative is always going to start with 9 to highest. The highest initiative will always go first. This boot here means that's how many movements you have to do, and this melee, that's how many dice you get to roll. And the range is how many dice you get to roll on the range attack. Some of them will have a special ability. I'm not going to go over a lot because you can figure that out when you actually get the game. They're all laid out for you, but that every hero or warrior will have that. And different things will go on, but as you're playing these cards, you're putting them on top of your character card, changing your defense. As you can see, you might be going on a really berserker attack, and your defense will go lower. Or you might be on the defensive end, moving and doing one range attack, and it's going to be harder to hit you. So that will change as you're playing them. So I have this game set up for 4 players. You'll start by having the largest character, by comparison, place his warrior on the board anywhere he wants, and then you'll continue doing that until the game is set up. Now, when you move, you can move to any adjacent spot or into the middle, and you can move out anywhere from the middle. That's movement. The melee attacks have to be adjacent or in the same area to complete. The range attack, you can hit them within 2 spaces. So if you can see them, then you'll be able to do a ranged attack, or in 1 space. You can never range attack in the same spot. So that is how move and attack and range works. Now you're going to have your complete hand here to choose from. Once everyone has placed their characters, you'll choose whatever initiative card you want. If you choose a high one, you're probably going to go first, and that might be a goal of yours, but you'll never have that 8 back, because once it's placed down, you're going to be putting cards on top of it. You'll put it down face down like this. Everyone will do that, and you'll have one person call out 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and as they hit numbers, they'll flip over, and that person will execute. Now, size comes into play here. Instead of like when the biggest character got to go first when placing, that doesn't happen when attacking with initiative. If somebody ties for 8, like Trevor and I would tie, he's the big dragon, but I'm smaller, so I'm going to be able to execute my card first. And we'll be doing that throughout all the numbers until everybody plays the card, and that will be round 1. Now, you have to execute everything on the card. You might have all 3 of them here, and you'll execute 2 attacks in 1 move, but you have to do it in order. So you'll move 2, do a melee if possible, then do archery if possible. So if I did this one here, I would move 2 right here, and I'll move right here, and then I have a ranged attack. I'm going to be attacking this tourist guy. Right now, he has a defense of 3. I have 1 shot, and this is just my defensive card. I got to get higher than 3, which I did, and I hit him. Now, the first hit, remember when I showed you the big hearts here? Whatever you hit a character for the first time, you get the 3-point marker. Now, everyone has one of these. It still counts as 1 hit health for the opposing character, but for you, when you hit people, you gather their victory points, and this small one is only worth 1. But this mechanism, I think, is in the game to kind of share the love in the beginning, so you're not just attacking one person constantly. Instead, you might get 3 points, and instead of knocking somebody out, you might go for that. So once these are gone, though, you'll start to give out the single hits when you start taking damage. Other thing, these little pebbles on the rounds here, if you knock somebody out in the first 3 rounds, you're going to take that many damage, whatever the stones, like 3 damage in the first round and 1 in the third, because the crowd doesn't want to see premature death. They want to see a show. But once it gets up here, if you kill somebody, then it's okay, you don't take any damage. You don't get any extra points when you knock a character out. Say this tree guy knocks out the Taurus guy. He'll just take the rest of his hearts, and he'll take this standee and put it in front of him, which he's over here, and that will count as a trophy. If he ties with anybody via victory points at the end, the person with the most trophies is the outright winner. So again, once everybody has played their cards, that's one round. You'll continue to tick this up, and you'll continue to play until all monsters are either knocked out or the 7th round has completed. And again, you'll be playing these cards face down like this. Let me go over Leo's one special here. Basically, he's going to be doing electric attacks, and he's going to be putting these tokens on characters, zapping their initiative, or making his initiative even higher, so he'll be able to go first. So he's even quicker. He's a small character, doesn't have much life, but he's going to zap people. And all these characters and warriors have their own powers. The only thing that I didn't go over is these charm here. Everyone has a charm. You can do one of two things with the charm. You can flip it over, you only get one time to do that, and you can have somebody re-roll any 3 dice after they've rolled against you. Or instead of re-rolling dice, you can flip dice to a different side of the face, making them a result of failure. So that is kind of a second ditch defense effort, and you only get one of those, but everyone has one of the charm tokens. So that is the basic gameplay of Ultimate Warriors. You'll continue to collect victory points from people, giving out victory points as you take hits, trying to put on the best show and be the best gladiator warrior character you can be, and the person with the most victory points at the end of the game, whether it be knock out all the characters or at the end of the round, is the winner. If the tie comes into play, the person with the most trophies is the winner. So that is how you play. Now let's give this game a grade and tell you what we think. Let's go. So that is the basic gameplay of Ultimate Warriors. Very simple. I dig the components, and as we always do here on GameVine, I'm going to be giving this game a percentage or a letter, and these guys are going to go with fractions and or like points, you know, whatever, numbers. So what I settled on for Ultimate Warriors is an 89%, a B+, and a very good game. And I think this, the charm of this game is that the simplicity and depth kind of ratio. I think the way that you can, you know, bring this to the table and get almost anyone at the table, young people, medium-aged people, and old people. I know, midway-aged people, whatever, I don't care.
Medium-aged people?
Yeah, medium-aged people.
I like medium-aged people.
Yeah, medium-aged people will play this game with you. But I think the demographic is large for this game. I do think that this is drawing from King of Tokyo / King of New York, but it's its own game. I love how each character does feel different. They have just a few special powers, but it does separate them from the other ones. Of course, the larger players are going to have more health, and they're going to probably have a big attacks, but the smaller characters are going to zoom around and get to go first. And, you know, they might have some tricks up their sleeves as well. The other thing that I like, I think the 3D board is kind of a gimmick. It's whatever. Did it need it? No,
right.
But it happened, and it's one of the things that is visually gripping and will bring a person to the table and ask questions. So I guess that's what they were going for, and it doesn't bother me, nor does it excite me too much. But it is it's a cool little factor. I guess I'm just going to pretty much wrap up my opinion with the only things that I didn't like about it is sometimes when you're trying to run away, there is no way out, and you do have it's kind of programmed, so you have to think ahead and know if somebody's going to attack you to keep your defense up. But that is a minor quibble. Again, this got a 89%, which is extremely high, and I recommend this for gamers and like hardcore gamers and light gamers alike. So that's what I think about Ultimate Warriors. You go.
I'll go.
Ah.
So I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10.
Mm.
It's not a bad game. Like Dave said, it does remind me of the King of New York and King of Tokyo.
A little bit, yeah.
Just with the miniatures.
Like
and,
kaiju, big monsters fighting.
And
yeah.
the whole the dice rolling and everything. It's like you said, it's a programming game where I think that's where it's a step above with King of Tokyo, where King of Tokyo, you're just rolling dice and hoping to get what you want.
Super random.
Yeah, in this one you actually have to program what you're going to do.
And even though it's one turn, it's still
And it's
but you're
super hard.
you're still programming because you have to remember what's in your hand.
Right, you have to remember what's in your hand, and you have to know what you're going to do. Like when we first started, I think we played this game a few times, and I've never won.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what these guys are going to do. When you play my card, I'm like, I don't know what's going to be a good card or not.
Gotcha.
But it's really simple. The cards have a breakdown, tells you what to do. You move, you attack, a ranged attack or just a close attack.
Right.
It's all there.
So simple,
there's nothing really hard to this game. Look-wise, it looks great. You just do it. Look-wise, everything looks great. There's the artwork on it is amazing. The components are nice. So I enjoy it. I would play this one over King of New York, though, or King of Tokyo.
What'd you give the
For
game?
sure. I gave it a 7.
Oh, 7. Not too bad.
7.
Yeah.
So that's me. Trevor?
I was kind of going back and forth, but I think I'm going to land on a 7 out of 10 for this game. And it's not that it's a bad game. I guess kind of maybe some of the things they found as positives. I was like the simplification of this game. It's almost a little too simple. And like you, I'm actually really annoyed by the movement in here because they've got like some cards that are a movement of 1, some cards that are a movement of 2.
And if you move here with the 1, you can hit everyone.
Yeah, that's the thing. With the circle joining all of them, it's almost pointless to even have one with a 2 because you don't have to be in the same space as somebody to attack them with melee. You could be next to them. So I was a little annoyed. Like Dave said, I think there should be a way for strategically in this game for people to run away a little bit better and to be able to use those cards strategically to defend against people, and you can't do that. For cardboard components, I feel like it's very good.
This is probably the best it gets for cardboard.
Right, yeah, I will agree with that, but that's all it is. There's literally no other like fancy
Cards
component, like not even one, like not even like a rotating like turn placement component that's like some cool little chunky component.
And this is totally gimmicky, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate what they're trying to do, but it just didn't really execute for me, and that it made it look appealing and aesthetic from like a components level. So, I mean, like I said, for cardboard components, it's pretty well produced, but I wasn't blown away by the components, and it was just a very simple game, but still enjoyable. I still really like playing it, and if anybody ever recommends me, to play it, I'll definitely agree and jump on board with them to play this game because it's really a fun. I would recommend it to gamers, really heavy gamers. I'm not saying that you shouldn't play it, but I think it's light enough to where it can cross demographics. Maybe that's what they were trying to do, was to touch some of the families and kids and stuff like that. But it's a fun game. It's nothing groundbreaking, and it is pretty simple. So
yeah, and after hearing all that, I feel like an 89 is pretty high. I think why maybe it got a little higher, other than me winning.
He did win. That's why we gave it a low score.
Yeah.
Right. I think that the beginning game is balanced, and it keeps everyone in for a few turns because the fans don't want to see a character get knocked out. Soon they'll throw rocks at you and knock you out yourself. And the fact that everyone gets a big heart kind of keeps the attacking to like, well, I could hit you and kill you, but Chris has a big heart, so that's worth 3 points.
Well, that happened at the beginning of the last game. Is I should have gone after you for multiple reasons because you hadn't been hit yet, and because you had worse defense. But I wanted his big heart.
Yeah, well, he took my big heart, but I did have some defense.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
But again, that's where I think they balanced the game out pretty well. But like Trevor said, this game is extremely light. Do not go into it expecting this grandiose kind of experience. But if you just want to bust out a game and to play it for like 20 to 30 minutes, once you get the hang of it, you can totally do that and have some monster bashing fun. So that is my final thoughts. Anyone else want to add to this before we wrap this up?
Well, and that's the beauty of opinions is that you each get your own opinion. So we want you guys to play this game. Well, I would say we all three recommend you play this game.
Yeah, we recommend this game.
And see if you like it a little more like Dave, or if you think it's just a solid, good game like me and Chris.
Right.
I love monsters just punching each other in the face. This is so much fun. So, thank you so much for watching today's review. We really do appreciate it. If you could do us a solid and subscribe and like if you like this review and you like what you've seen. If you are new, if you are a repeat watcher, well, we really thank you so much for welcoming us back into your world. And until the next time that we see you, I've been Dave.
Trevor.
Chris.
And don't worry about the peeling on the ceiling as long as you're feeling that good feeling. Play more games, everybody, and have a great rest of your day. Bye!
Bing, bang, boom!
Bing, bang, boom.
Bye.